Welcome back, everybody. Today we are talking about building businesses and becoming better men through Christ. And today I've got a really interesting topic that I love. Again, I'm trying to focus on the camera. But this topic is about where you build your foundation on. As a business owner and as a man in general, uh, life throws us all these curveballs that we just can't prep for. Um, and the minute that our foundation is built on something that's not stable, I always envision it like a house. And if the foundation is weak, then the rest of the house is weak. And if there's cracks in the foundation, water leaks in, water pours in, and it ruins the house. And the house crumbles and falls. And so I use that depiction um, when talking about our foundation. Um, So, what I wanted to get into is that we need a firm foundation when we're building these businesses and we're building these lives as men with families. And I'm going to get right into the Bible. In the book of Matthew and the book of Proverbs, they have some really good depictions of firm foundations and unsteady foundations and how they can affect you. And so when we go into Proverbs chapter 10, as referenced in the last video, um, I like the verse in Proverbs 10:25. It says, "When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever." And so when we read that, we obviously have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what the true meaning is. So when the storm comes and it's swept by, the wicked get wiped away. It says the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. Now, how do they stand firm? The book of Matthew comes in and depicts it pretty well. The chapter here in Matthew 7:24, it's titled "The Wise and Foolish Builders." So here's the difference between a wise builder and a foolish builder. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Now, the rock is a very important symbol. It symbolizes something that Jesus is talking about. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. We're going to get into what the rock is. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. Because why? Because it was built on sand. I look at sand as it's ever moving, it shifts, it moves, but a rock is firm, it's strong, it's solid. Um, So I like to look back and I think, okay, what is my rock? And personally, I used to live my life outside of God, and I was never in the Word, and the Word referring to the Bible, and God calls it the sword. The Bible is the sword. The Word is our sword. Um, and I used to live and have my foundation on sand, which was just worldly thoughts, and I thought I could do it all myself, and I could succeed in business by doing my own thing and just making it by and doing everything for me. And that was the worst thing possible because it led me astray. And when storms came across and hit me, I sank. I moved. I shifted. My walls fell down because it wasn't my foundation wasn't built on anything sturdy. And so in here in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24 and on, they reference the rock. And what is the rock? And my rock has been the Bible and the Word, and learning how to be less selfish and focused more on others, and being quick to hold my tongue and getting less angry and less emotional and more um, move my headspace into a serving mindset. And the rock, my rock, has become the Bible. I mean, I'm not perfect right now, but when things when the ship's sinking and when the storms come in my business, and I'm a realtor. And so a big thing in my business is when deals start to fall apart, when inspections come back bad. I used to really be unsteady. I used to not be, I would be very selfish in the moment. I would think about like my commission would be on the line if this didn't go through, and that would affect, my negotiations and serving those clients. And now my house is being, my foundation is being built on the rock to where it shifts. It's okay, how do I serve these people the best? It's not about me, it's not about how much I get paid. If I do the right work and I do the good work and I serve my clients the best I possibly can, God will reward that. It's not always going to be meaning like the deal goes through, but I've found that when I'm more steady for my clients, I tend to have better results. And that is because my foundation is now built on the rock, and my rock is the Bible and the Word. And focusing on how Jesus says to live your life has been the game changer for me. And it's actually built my business way up. Now my foundation is rock solid. My roots are deeper. And now my business can keep getting built higher and higher and higher. And as it builds, the foundation just keeps getting stronger. And that's truly what I feel right now. And the hard part is when our businesses aren't built on a good foundation, it can really crush us mentally, physically. We can feel like the work is never ending. Um, and things get really difficult. They get really lonely. No matter how many people you talk to, I've never felt anything more fulfilling than talking truth through this word. And so the lesson today is when we build our business and when we build our life, we need to build those on a solid foundation. Now, I'd have you ask yourself, what is your foundation? For me, it's the Bible, and I found nothing that's compared to it to be better. But everyone finds their own thing at their own pace. So I didn't just realize this overnight. This took a while to build, and it's still building, and it'll probably never end. And I'll keep finding ways to uh, strengthen that foundation. Um, but He has built me from the ground up. And I no longer want my foundation to be built on sand because I don't want that. I don't want to experience what it was like again when I was trying to do everything on my own. He says that there's strength in many advisors and seeking counsel from others. And I used to think I had to build everything on my own, and I couldn't have been any more wrong. And as I seeked more knowledge and wisdom, I found more successful people were talking to me not about themselves, but how they've been able to serve so many people and take themselves out of it. And I know that relates back to the Bible and the Word because all he talks to us about is taking ourselves out of it, being selfless and serving others unconditionally as Jesus served us and loved us. And so, wrapping this up, if you could take anything out of this, uh, what I've learned is that when my foundation is built on the Word and the Bible, my business does better and I serve others better. And business is all about serving. It's nothing about you. It's all about serving others. You don't have a business without serving other people and doing it really well. And that's why Jesus calls us to build our foundation on the rock. I'll wrap it up here.